Hey guys, what's up? My name is Jeanette, also known as Ms.FitVegan, and today I am going live with the beautiful Hannah. So Hannah has an incredible story and I cannot wait to dive into it. I'm going to wait for her to join. And if you are watching this on YouTube, just click the link below to check out the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. So this is something that is only available until March 2nd, okay? And it is a collection of over 100, I think there's 110 courses, programs, challenges, books, and these are all focused around plant-based weight loss. So if you know anyone in your life that needs to lose weight, get fit, get healthy, heal any type of ailment, then please, I recommend you get this for them. You can buy the bundle and you can send it to them. What's amazing is that there is literally over 1,000 recipes, okay? And so this is like for the whole entire year. You don't need any other bundle. And this is great because there's lots of raw books, and then there's lots of plant-based, oil-free, low-fat, salt-free cooked recipes. Hi Carb Hannah, Plantiful Kiki, Chef AJ, Dr. John McDougal. Okay, Hannah has joined us. Back to Balanced Nutrition. I love that name so much. Let me get her in here. Let me see if I can. So click the link below, or if you're watching this on Instagram, go to our bios, Hannah's bio or my bio. Hey, Hannah.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How
good
are
to see you?
Yes, good to meet you. We've never met before. I just discovered you through the bundle.
I know. It's so exciting.
I love it because I get to meet so many amazing people all over the world. And yeah, so first of all, welcome. I love your backdrop.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, my kitchen, yeah.
I love the backsplash. And then, okay, so can you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself, if you could, and what inspired you to write your new book, which is the Anti-Cancer Kickstarter?
Well, thank you for that intro, and great to meet you as well. I'm very, very excited, and the connection's awesome that we were able to do this through the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. Yeah, and I love your book as well. I originally wrote my ebook well, it's been in the making for over a decade, I would say, but I went through cancer myself in 2006, and so that kind of, obviously it changed my whole world. And
what kind of cancer?
I had lymphoma. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, so I had a good kind to get because we have a cure for it, but it definitely forced me to stop and say, okay, what are you doing here with your health? I thought I was living really healthy. I was going to the gym all the time, right? I wasn't eating great, but I thought I was eating pretty balanced food. And that kind of forced me to stop and take a look at everything I've been doing. And I met some really great health experts, oncologists, that steered me in the right direction and said, you know what, you should probably be on a plant-based diet.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a long story, obviously, but, some oncologists told me to eat whatever I wanted and recommended, ice cream and pizza and anything that would make me feel comfortable during chemotherapy. But other oncologists said, the evidence in the medical literature is actually plant-based nutrition would be really beneficial for you. And so I changed my diet. I changed my lifestyle. I then learned about other aspects of the plant-based lifestyle, which was, of course, animal welfare, planetary health. And then that kind of became my main focus over the years, even more so than health. But I've been doing plant-based nutrition for my clients since I went through cancer. I changed careers from dental hygiene to nutrition and wrote this book to help people kind of kickstart their health, eat an anti-cancer diet, and a diet that would not only help them prevent cancer risk, but also help them prevent all the other chronic illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, obesity, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, because I think that there's any real difference between, there's so many types of illnesses and they're all life altering and debilitating. And, you know,
Exactly.
whether you have any type of disease or not, I mean, that's incredible. And for sure, I'm sure you know that you had to go through that to literally save people's lives. So, you know, with your journey and what happened. So now you're inspiring people and helping people. And, you know, I love your title of your book because, like, the C word is like tough to, you know, talk
Oh
about,
yeah,
you
it's a
know.
scary word.
Yeah, it's a scary word. And
Mhm.
also, like, I feel like you're not even allowed to say, like, certain foods, like, cure that. I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of like scared to even talk about it because I feel like the FDA or regulations, I mean, it's just ridiculous how we are. I feel there's no freedom of speech anymore. We're policing ourselves. I mean, you
I know there's a lot you have to kind of navigate around, especially I'm not a registered dietitian, I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, so I can't really even use the word treat or cure, of course. But you know, cancer fighting foods, cancer protective foods, foods that fight cancer. But there are foods that have been scientifically proven to actually kill cancer cells, and we can say that
what
because
kind of, is it specific, like fruit and vegetables?
yeah, there are specific compounds in specific foods that have been proven to actually kill cancer cells, including cancer stem cells.
What are
And
some?
so that's oh
Wow.
yeah. Well, my favorite, I have a few favorites. For example, turmeric. So the different compounds in turmeric have been shown to kill cancer cells in laboratory studies. We can't really do them on human clinical trials because that's not ethical. But in petri dishes, when they drip certain compounds of different vegetables and fruit extracts, we can see which ones actually kill cancer cells. Garlic, onion compounds. What else? Flaxseed, cruciferous vegetable compounds, green tea compounds like the ECGC in green tea. Certain flavonoids, certain carotenoids. There are so many that we can talk about. We can talk about them all day. But I have a free guide that is available on my website that people can just download, and it's just the top scientifically proven cancer fighting foods, and you can just pop that on your fridge. And
Ooh. Okay, so
yeah,
what is your website?
backtobalancenutrition.com. So that guide is kind of like I compiled all the different foods that have been proven to fight cancer in that one guide so that people have access to that one piece of content, and they can just when they're grocery shopping or cooking or whatever, just kind of glance at it and say, okay, did I include all the cancer fighting foods? Because as you said, and I love that you just said this, that there are so many different diseases, and cancer is just one manifestation of an unhealthy body, right? And you can have anxiety disorder, or you can have heart disease, diabetes, or cancer, and all of them are the same. To me, they're all very, very similar. They're all showing that something is imbalanced in the body, right? And we need to address that. And I don't think cancer is it's a very scary word for so many people, and of course there's a reason for that. But I think that every single disease needs to be addressed in the same way, like in a multifactorial approach. And cancer is just one of them, and it's a chronic illness. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen suddenly. It happens over 10 to 40 years, right? It involves complex processes that, with the cells disintegrating the way that they do, and I just love that you pointed that out.
No, I mean, 10 to 40 years. Wow, that makes so much sense. So I,
Yeah.
I honestly, I believe that if I got cancer, right? Yes, I would be extremely scared, but at the same time, what you just said, it forms from 10 to 40 years, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get cancer overnight and you won't heal it overnight, but it is possible. Okay, Hannah did it. Millions of other people have done it. And it is possible to heal whatever the disease is, right?
Your
I'm sure.
body knows what to do. Your body created it. Your body can heal from it. Of
Mm,
course, there are treatments that, of course, we don't want to say, don't get chemo, don't get radiation, don't get surgery. Of course, those are beneficial treatments, but they're not the only treatments, right? We need to approach cancer in a multifactorial way, because complex process.
Yes.
And so nutritional therapy is what I call it, is such a strong pillar. Like when I went through chemo, before I even did chemo, actually, I was scheduled to get 16 rounds of chemo. And before I even took one shot of it, my tumor had decreased by 50%.
Because of your diet?
My diet and herbal therapy that I was seeing. Like I was seeing oncologists and herbologists and herbalists, sorry, in Peru. Again, long story, but my tumor decreased by 50%. My oncologist saw me. He said, you know what? We have a PET scan. It's showing this reduction. I can't ethically give you 16 rounds of chemo. We should do 1 or 2.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, quick question. If we could all eat one thing every day, what would you recommend? Just one thing.
One food?
Yes.
One cancer fighting food?
Yeah.
I would have to say cruciferous vegetables.
Ooh, wow. And then is there one herb that you would recommend to everyone as a preventative? Because I know you are into herbs as well. You're big into herbs.
I am. I did a lot of Peruvian herbs from the Amazon jungle. I was going through cancer, and I still take them sometimes. It's a tough thing to say because everybody has a different constitution.
Yes.
My go-to is always cat's claw. It's a tumor preventative herb. You can get it in tea form. So it can be like a milder version. Like the version that I took was not, a tea form version.
I have heard so much about cat's claw from many people. I have like anxiety and stress, trouble sleeping.
Okay.
And I don't know, is cat's claw good for that? Because so many people have recommended that to me.
I know more about its immune modulating effects, but if you're having trouble sleeping from an anxiety standpoint, I would say ashwagandha is my next one.
I do ashwagandha. Okay,
yeah.
I take it because David Goggins takes it.
Right.
Oh, David Goggins.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's
for anxiety, for high cortisol levels.
That's right.
And so you know what? I'm gonna stick to the ashwagandha because I take it, but sometimes I forget. So you just reminded me. Gotta have it.
I think ashwagandha is more of a root, but I mean it's kind of in the herbal world. So yeah, you can take it as a tea form. It's a great modulator of cortisol and other stress hormones for sure. Yeah.
I have the powder and I put it in salad dressings. Is that okay? Or should I do tea?
I think anything would work. But I would definitely consult with an herbalist to make sure or some
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your book. And I love the fact that it took you 10 years to produce this, because to me, that means that you have gone through trial and error and made mistakes, found what works, found what doesn't. That really makes me feel really excited to check out your book. Guys, this is the last 2 days of the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. Okay, I just want to remind everyone that after March 2nd, it's gone forever. And all of these programs are going to equal, if you bought all of the bundle, it would be over $4,600. I just did an interview with ms.FitVegan. Her course, her challenge is $50. So it's the same price as the whole bundle. How much is your book usually, Hannah?
It's right now. I'm selling it for $49 as well. So I mean, I haven't started selling it yet because it's launching in this bundle. So you're literally getting it plus 105 other pieces of content. So it's a little bit of a no-brainer.
For Hannah's book, or you can buy Hannah's book.
Bundle.
109 more or something like that. Over 100 more books, all plant-based, all low-fat, oil-free, salt-free, and all focused on not just weight loss, but health. Because obviously you cannot be overweight and obese and be healthy. I don't believe it's really possible. I know society right now is trying to tell us it's possible. I know that every single person that I know in my life, in my family, in my circle that's overweight is not healthy, doesn't feel great, doesn't feel their best,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that has to do with judging, right? We're not judging. We just want everyone to feel their best and, you know, live their best life. I know that's cliche, right? At this point,
Their
but
healthiest life. Yeah.
agree?
You know, and I'll add a little bit onto that as well. Like with being overweight or obese, yeah, we do, there's no element of judging anybody, but we have to look at what the science actually tells us with that. And in terms of, for example, we know that like type 2 diabetes is related to being overweight or obese because the biological mechanisms of that disease, like how that works with insulin resistance. But we also know with cancers, being overweight and obese also increases your risk of so many different types of cancers, right? 13 of them. And you can look at the World Cancer Research Fund's website, and that is like the authority on cancer prevention through diet and nutrition and lifestyle, and it's right there, right? Overweight, obesity leads to increased risk of these cancers. So there's so much involved there. So this bundle is actually just like an all-encompassing, incredible deal.
Yeah.
Because you're getting
Cancer. Actually, if I
yeah.
think about it, what is the percentage? Do you happen to know, or can you, in your expertise, can you tell me what do you think is the percentage of people that are overweight that form cancer in their body?
Ooh. The percentage of people that are overweight that form, I don't know that
Or the
statistic.
percentage of people that have cancer that are also overweight?
I know that obesity causes 600,000 cancer deaths per year. I know that. I know that.
Wait, being
No.
obese causes you to produce 600,000 cancer cells per year.
Sorry, no. Obesity causes 600,000 cancer deaths per year.
Oh, 600,000 cancer deaths
Per year.
Wow.
So it is. It's one of it's you know it's like when we look at we know that smoking is related to 30% of all cancers, right? We know that diet is related to 30 to 35% of all cancers per year. But in terms of dietary risk factors, obesity falls under that category, right? What is an unhealthy diet? It's a diet that causes so many different manifestations, including being overweight or obese, right? So it's definitely something that, yeah, we have to kind of, address, I think, and not kind of sugarcoat it because, no pun intended, but we can't sugarcoat this because it's a huge issue.
Yeah, it's pretty big, especially because I recently read that 80% of Americans are overweight or obese.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrific.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, I mean, it is absolutely reversible, as Hannah has done, and you don't get it overnight, and you don't heal it overnight, and this is a very good thing, right? Like, guys, we cannot get cancer overnight. Okay?
No, you can't.
It's like Rome wasn't built in a day, and it didn't fall apart in a day.
That's right. There's this like very strange belief out there that a person is healthy until they have a cancer diagnosis, right?
Right.
And it's this like, and I was one of those people, like when my doctor told me, you have cancer, I thought, oh my gosh, like I'm sick now today, when in reality it takes 10 to 40 years for the cancer to be detectable by like through a lump or a scan.
Miss, may I ask? Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Did you have symptoms, or did you just go for a checkup?
No, I just was kind of doing this one night, like just kind of massaging my neck, and I felt a lump on my collarbone. And by the time I felt it, I mean, it was the size of like my pinky. And then, it ended up being though, like inside though, it was like my entire neck was kind of, affected, the lymph nodes inside my neck. But, I'm actually a great example of the fact that it does take that long to manifest, because I was born in Poland. We had the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in Ukraine. The nuclear cloud was actually over my city when I was one. I was 1 year old. And, I was 20 when I was diagnosed with cancer. And so many kids on my block in Poland were also diagnosed with lymphoma at the same time that I was. So it's like, we don't know exactly what causes cancer. We don't know what that initial DNA hit is to like damage in terms of the DNA. But I think that for me, that could have been it, right? And then my lifestyle of eating, you know, very Polish, like high fat, high animal protein, you know, high sugar diet. I drank a lot of alcohol, right? And going up to that point, like, you know, partying with my friends, you know, I thought everything was great. But going to the gym, right? So I thought everything was good. And then diagnosed. And yeah, so we have to understand that this process of cancer development takes decades of time. And the lengthy process in between the first initial hit to our DNA to when it's actually detectable, that period of time is nutritionally very, very sensitive. And we can actually eat foods that reverse that process of tumor development or promote it. And that's the key, right? The key is that, yes, cancers can reverse, and they can reverse even spontaneously, but we have so much control through what we're actually eating. And like, it's like anti-tumor foods or pro-tumor foods, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have all this control on our plate. And that's what I want people to realize. Like, you can actually, you know, you have way more control than you could imagine, whether or not you have these precancerous cells forming into a malignant lesion, because we all make cancer cells every single day. Yes. Right? And we make, I think it's like 500 cancer cells are made a day, but it's up to our environment, like what we feed our body with, how we live, whether we do yoga, like you were talking about, Ella, you know, stress management, that is all contributing to whether those precancerous lesions form actual disease causing malignant cancer. And that's kind of like what I want people to kind of understand and embrace and live a healthy lifestyle and eat a plant-powered diet that helps prevent cancer and other chronic illnesses at the same time.
Yeah, I completely agree, Hannah. So I've always said, like, to myself and my friends, that everything we eat either heals or hurts us. And like, they think it's very extreme. You know, people that are eating unhealthy think mentality. But as we know, what's extreme is having a disease that you may die from, that may end your life much sooner than you're supposed to, right? And so, okay, so it's been 10 years, correct?
16 years for me.
Wow, 16 years. Okay. Yeah. And so what do you eat? What is your typical lifestyle consist of?
Yeah, so in terms of my diet, I do try to include the cancer-fighting foods in my daily diet. So the science shows that eating a plant-based dietary pattern helps us reduce the risk for cancer, right? And other diseases. But the science is actually strongest for raw vegetables and fruit in terms of decreased risk of cancer. So your lifestyle right there. So I really try to incorporate as much raw produce as possible in my diet, and aim for at least 50 grams of fiber per day, because that's also, fiber is so critical for cancer prevention, especially breast cancer and colon cancer and prostate. But so my daily diet, I like to start with my like a cancer fighting smoothie, I call it. It's in my recipe package. It's in my ebook as well. So I actually made up a smoothie recipe that includes so many of the foods in my guide, in my daily guide, that are cancer fighting. And so I have that every single day, along with maybe some oatmeal with berries and flaxseed.
Can you tell us a few of the ingredients? Just a few?
Of course, yeah. You know, there's always some sort of plant-based milk, obviously, but I like to go for soy, because soy is largely protective against cancer, which is a common myth. But
wow.
But it's
when is that rumor gonna die with the protein thing? You know, like, I'm so tired of people telling me they don't eat soy or they can't go vegan because of the increased cancer risk if you eat soy. What?
It's definitely been, it's a myth that's been squashed since 2009. If you look at the actual, like, if you talk to someone who's actually like versed in reading medical literature, nutrition, doctors, I mean, if they just, you know, if your doctor's not aware of it, if they just look at the science, then it'll be right there. Because now we know it's been established. There's no, there's no discrepancy. Soy actually protects us against hormonal cancers, right? And it was a myth that was started because of studies in rodents that were being fed isolated soy compounds, like isolated soy, and
So
they were given
isolate.
exactly, and they were given these supplements of very, very high soy protein, and they induced tumor growth in rodents. But every single study that we've had since 2009, I believe, has shown the opposite is true for humans. And if we even just look at population studies, right, like people in Asia, right, who consume numerous servings of soy per day have, half the rate of breast cancer and prostate cancer, hormonal cancers, as we do in North America. And we now know that soy actually prevents breast cancer. It prevents ovarian cancer. It helps to prevent even prostate, I believe. And it is also helpful in increasing survival after breast cancer, regardless of whether or not that breast cancer is estrogen dependent or not. So it's very, very preventative. So yeah, my smoothie, soy, always some berries, always a cruciferous vegetable like cauliflower or red cabbage or broccoli or sprouts.
Yeah, I gotta get better at eating those. I don't eat a lot of cruciferous.
Ooh, okay.
Because you're super knowledgeable, so I need to ask you every question possible.
Go for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
So many questions are coming to my mind. Do you know exactly why cruciferous vegetables are so important for us to be eating?
Yeah, in terms of cancer, they contain the largest variety of cancer fighting compounds. So the compounds are called, in short, they're called isothiocyanates, excuse me. And they're created when we chew or chop or blend a cruciferous vegetable. Two different compounds in that vegetable are kind of come together, are combined. There's an enzyme and another compound, and they create isothiocyanates. And those isothiocyanates are exceptionally cancer preventative. The main one, the strongest one, is called sulforaphane, and it's found in broccoli and broccoli sprouts and Brussels sprouts as well. And it actually it's so powerful that it's been shown to target and kill breast cancer stem cells. Breast cancer stem cells aren't even well targeted with chemotherapy. Right?
That just gave me chills. Seriously.
Chemo will not always kill breast cancer stem cells. And Dr. Michael Greger has a great website, nutritionfacts.org. It's all on there as well, and evidence-based nutrition. And so I always include either broccoli or broccoli sprouts in my smoothie because I know that I'm getting that sulforaphane, and that's the strongest compound.
Oh, broccoli sprouts. That's something I really love. So that counts as a cruciferous vegetable?
That's a cruciferous vegetable. And if you look at another thing I'll say though with cruciferous vegetables is that heating them or cooking them actually destroys the ability for the isothiocyanates to actually form. So we have to chew or chop or blend them in their raw form before we cook them.
Wow.
Right? So if you're making broccoli soup, make sure you process your broccoli first to create those compounds. Or if you're making cauliflower fettuccine Alfredo, process your cauliflower and then cook it. Right? There's a chemistry there. Or if you've made a mistake and you're I cooked my broccoli and now I'm not getting the cancer fighting compounds, you can actually take some raw cruciferous vegetable like mustard seed powder and just sprinkle it on top of the cooked, and then you'll create that compound again.
Oh, wow.
So I think you sprout though. You sprout your veggies, right? Because
I sprout, but you just inspired me. I'm going to start buying. No, seriously, I'm going to start buying broccoli. And Jadelle, my good friend Jadelle, she just said cruciferous vegetables are hard to digest. Okay, let me just give you some advice, and then I want to know what Hannah thinks about this. I would say if they're hard to digest for you, so say they cause gas and bloating, have a little bit have a little bit and you will get used to them. Okay, that's what I'm, because currently, Hannah, I don't eat any cruciferous vegetables. And I'm just like, what? You know, I focus on fruit a lot and I do have a big salad at night. But however, I have heard this before, not as compelling as you just told me. And I'm definitely going to be adding in, you know, I do my sprouts though. So I do have broccoli sprouts, but I want to start adding in broccoli to my salad, cutting very small amounts and adding it in slowly. And so therefore I will not experience the digestive issues that some people experience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. And I like people say that with cruciferous vegetables a lot because they have these like gas producing compounds. And same with beans, right? But that's exactly what you said. The science shows that if we introduce like a little bit per day, even like a tablespoon of beans or a little bit of cauliflower or broccoli, you create the gut bacteria that you need with the enzymes that produce the enzymes that you require to digest those foods over time. But it takes a few weeks though.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And I have a feeling if I ate a whole head of broccoli tonight, I would be like, you know? So
Totally.
okay.
But sprouts are good for that because sprouts are so soft and they're so, you know, like the baby food of the adult plant. So I think that sprouts are like a really great.
I love doing sprouts.
Way.
Sprout also?
I do.
It's so easy. Guys, if you don't know how to sprout yet, go to my YouTube. Just type in Ms.FitVegan sprouts. It's so simple. It's so easy.
Simple.
And this is great apocalypse food, okay? Because we don't know what's happening in the future. Seriously, right?
Oh,
and you want to stockpile anything right now, stockpile sprouts. That's what I would recommend.
100%. And they're cheap. Like you can do it for cheap. You don't have to, you know, worry about buying them from the grocery store because they're not, you know.
Yeah, don't buy sprouts. I bought sprouts, Hannah, for like 8 years. I was just like, I don't have time. This is a joke, guys. If you have to, like, seriously, if you have time to fill up a glass halfway with water and shake it out, you have time to sprout. You know
exactly. It's so good.
Okay, so I interrupted you. You were telling us you always have your smoothie, and then you always have oats or oatmeal for breakfast, correct?
Yeah. You know, it always depends if I'm hungry. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat. Like if I listen to my body, right? But I have either a smoothie for breakfast or I have oats or I have both depending on my activity level, how hungry I am, etc. Then for lunch, I like to do some sort of like a bean dish. So whether like that's a salad with some black beans on top and guacamole and some fresh, you know, pico de gallo, that's kind of like my go-to. I really love that. Or a salad with some air fried potatoes or yams and some salsa and hummus. Like I eat really weird foods, but like you know, I like mix everything together. It's just
sounds delicious.
Very funny way of eating. Or I'll have like a brown rice wrap with beans and avocado and, you know, peppers and things, and just like throw sprouts in there again and greens and whatever else I can find in my fridge. Or so actually also just to go back for breakfast sometimes, you know, if I don't feel like making a smoothie, I'll just have fruit. I'll just have like a mango and a banana and like a pear or an apple. Like I have a ton of fruit. I have like 6 pieces of fruit a day.
Yeah.
I eat a lot. I think you did too, right?
I eat all fruit. And you know, when you talked about the cancer fighting foods, I've always heard, and let me know what you've heard about this. I've always heard that soursop is one of the strongest cancer fighting foods on earth. Have you heard anything about this? Have you ever?
Soursop?
Soursop, yeah.
Never even heard of it.
Okay, so it's also known as guanabana. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, so it's soursop is and the leaves. A lot of people make tea from the leaves, and so this is like one of the strongest anti-cancer foods on earth. So check it out.
I will.
You can usually find it in your local like Asian market, or if you have a Chinatown where you live.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, where do you live?
I live in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, you're Canadian. Wait, you're Canadian?
I'm Canadian, yeah. Oh, and you're in Miami, right?
Yeah, no, I just get such a good vibe from you, and I love.
Oh, you too. I've been to Miami, so like
yeah. I have.
I'm jealous.
Friends, seriously, I have more Canadian friends than American friends because I actually met all of my Canadian friends at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah. Okay, I haven't been, but when you feel we're back, then we'll.
Yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
talk more about that. But seriously, I've met my really good friend Nicole there, Kuba, who actually my friend Kuba was born in Poland, and
My
he
brother's name is Kuba. My brother's name is Jacob, which is Kuba in
yeah,
Polish. Yeah, so
yeah.
cool.
So I think your brother was on earlier. Maybe that was him.
Jacob Bukowski, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, Kuba is one of my best friends on earth, and he is Polish and Canadian, and same. And so I got to connect you guys.
We have a connection.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I eat mostly fruit, but I do eat lots of greens and salads and sprouts and things like that. And you know, when you were saying this, when you're talking about the anti-cancer foods, in my head, I was just like, you know what? I bet you there are so many other fruit and vegetables that are anti-cancer that have never been studied even.
Oh,
So
yeah, we've only studied so few.
right. You're just telling us the ones that actually have been studied and these incredible findings from these studies, right? But
yeah.
there's so many more. So like I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you cannot go wrong with any fruit or vegetable. Am I right?
You're such a smart lady. Yeah. you're no, but it's true. You can't, because we haven't studied all the compounds. It's impossible. Even if you look at, it's possible. It's just going to take a long time. Even if you look at like an apple, there are so many compounds that we know of in apples, but there are also so many phytochemicals that are not discovered yet. And the thing is too, I think this is what I think you're alluding to, is there's a synergy when you eat, a food, right? All the compounds work together. So when they study anti-cancer nutrition, for example, when you study an isolated compound versus like if you isolate vitamin C from an orange versus if you eat the whole orange, you get way more benefit from eating the entire orange. There you go. Because there's a synergy that we don't even know about really, because it's just, in the actual food itself. And so focus on diverse whole plant foods, and you'll get the most benefit from the dietary pattern of that, rather than focusing on like isolated compounds in different foods.
I totally agree. And yeah, we won't even get into this. We'll do another live about juice and
we do need to do a live about fruit.
About fruit and juice stuff. But I agree that the whole food, as Michael Greger always said, the whole food is the best. Whole food is best because we're not smarter than nature. We can't outsmart nature. Nature didn't make an orange juice tree with you'd have a spout underneath and you get the orange juice. It doesn't work like that. And listen, orange juice is fun and it is healthy, but
it's processed. Yeah.
Say it again. Sorry.
Unless like it's processed, right? Like you're changing the way that nature intended to eat that fruit. And so many compounds are largely unidentified. And I think that we need to keep that in mind when we're looking at like supplements or, like isolated things from different foods. So there's so many.
Oh yes. Somebody loves sumo oranges. Yes. Do you get these?
I love them. They're so amazing.
Oh, so good. Okay, so before I let you go, I really want to touch on something else too, because you've been eating a healthy plant-based diet for 16 years now?
16 years now.
Okay, and so with that, obviously you've learned what to eat, what not to eat, how to optimize, right, the lifestyle. But with that comes along the number one question that I get personally, and maybe you get the same question, is how do I eat healthy if I live with people that don't? Okay, like literally my number one question. And also people say, how can I eat healthy when I socialize with my friends, when I go out to eat, when I go to weddings, when I go to family gatherings, or when I'm at work? I have lots of people in my life that work in very unhealthy places, like hospitals, like nurses. Literally, they are surrounded by the worst food on earth always. Yep. The break room of a hospital is like the opposite of anti-cancer. It's like cancer-causing foods, right? And so what would you say, or what do you say to clients that ask you, like, how can I possibly eat healthy when my friends and family do not? What do you say?
Honestly, I just go, I was married before, and when my ex-husband was not a plant-based
Oh,
eater, he wasn't interested in it. And you know what, actually, and he's now vegan, right? He's been vegan for a long time. We're still really good friends. But you know what changed him? Not me preaching or, anything like that. It was just, I was just doing my thing, leading by example, right? Cooking my plant-based meals, cooking my healthy food. And he just kind of saw the way that, I felt, the way that I was eating. He loved the food. He's like, this tastes awesome. So that kind of, I think the approach there is lead by example. If you're looking, like, just don't, I wouldn't say in social situations, I used to be like the one that would preach about, go vegan, go vegan. Like, this is the best way to do it. Like, have you heard about what's going on? And that is not a good approach. The best approach is to, in a social setting, bring your own food, offer to bring a side dish, right? Like, show off your cooking skills, bring a dish, whether or not that's an appy or dessert, right? If you're getting, and these conversations about healthy eating or food or diet, they always come up, like, right? When you're at a dinner, like, don't they always come, like, they're always come up.
well, if I'm there, it's always like, it always comes up because it's weird that I have my own food or I'm eating fruit for dinner or I have my own salad and my own dressing. And yeah, it always comes up. And also the reason it always comes up, Hannah, is because the majority of people are dealing with health issues. The majority of people are dealing with health issues. So,
and you don't want to, and it's kind of like this, like, weird, like, you don't want to overstep, right? You don't want to give unsolicited advice. And so I think that, if the conversation comes up, it's kind of best to say, oh, like, did you hear about, like, the newest evidence? Like, did you hear about the newest studies and, like, what the research is showing? You could actually help to prevent this and this and this and this, and even, like, reverse this and this and this and this through a more plant strong diet, for example. So I think it's like how we approach the conversations is really, really important. Again, bringing your own food, letting other people enjoy what you're eating, maybe. And just, the lifestyle that we lead is one based a lot, like, largely around compassion, right? Yeah. For living things and nature and the world. And I think that we have to extend that to compassion towards people who maybe aren't living the same way or the same lifestyle. That's kind of how I approach it. And so, but it's taken me a really long time to get there. It's really hard not to say, not to kind of give advice, right? When you're in that situation and you see someone suffering from something that is so easily helped through dietary intervention.
yeah, I completely agree. And those are the best tips that I would give people.
Bring your own. I was going to ask you, what would you?
Bring your own food, bring enough to share. Yeah, get some cooking skills. Like, seriously. No, seriously, if you're like me and you don't know how to cook or you're not like, like Raw Food Romance, naturally making all these amazing recipes. Here's what you do. Seriously, guys, get the ultimate weight bundle, because there's over 1,000 recipes. There's a lot of raw, there's a lot of cooked, okay? And all of them are healthy, plant-based, oil-free, salt-free, amazing, delicious, easy recipes. You got High Carb Hannah, Raw Food Romance, you got Chris Kendal, you got John McDougal's program with lots of recipes, Chef AJ's program with lots of recipes. You got Hannah's book, my book, and honestly, like, you're getting over 1,000. I promise you're going to find ones that you love and that are easy. And there's like a bunch. Yeah. Oh, you were gonna say, sorry?
Oh, I was gonna talk about. Sorry, go ahead. I just want to talk about your recipes for a second. They're so good.
I just want to say, I think there's like 3 or 4 salad dressing dedicated books. Like, I think there's like, it's all about the sauce, plant-based dressings. There's like 4 or 5 that are just about dressings, which is like the number one that you're going to master dinner as a healthy raw vegan or healthy vegan. You got to get the sauce right. You got to get the dressing right.
It changes your whole world. It changes your entire world. I think that's a great tip, though, and that's the thing. It's like, it's all about the sauce and the dressing and the spread. I mean, It elevates everything, right?
Without an amazing sauce. It's not gonna happen, because like a salad sucks unless it's
Totally.
delicious, it's drenched in a delicious creamy sauce. And so yeah, another tip that I always like to tell people, you gotta eat before you go.
Yeah.
You go out to eat at a restaurant, it's not going to be filling, it's not going to taste good, it's not going to be satisfying, and you're probably not going to have an ideal meal. If you're trying to be a healthy raw vegan or a healthy vegan, that's a rare restaurant that you're going to find where it's like a meal comfortable eating, right? And confident.
Oh, yes.
So eat before
that is a great tip.
Yeah, eat before you go. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. And then I order a salad and I'm like, okay, I'll nibble on this dry, like bland salad, because I'm already full from eating at home. And I know that sucks sometimes, but you know what sucks even more? You know what's even harder? Dealing with a disease. Dealing with being overweight and having health issues. Choose your heart, guys. Choose your heart.
Exactly. And I think you nailed it too when you said what's actually extreme. When you would look at like going through chemo is extreme. Having heart surgery is extreme. Having to inject insulin before every meal is, I think, extreme. It's in my family, right?
In a very extreme time, and people are calling, and because I believe that like the dimension that we're in is like everything is backwards. Okay, so people are telling me every day. People tell me eating 3 or 4 oranges for breakfast is like extreme. Like that's way extreme diet. Eating a raw vegan diet.
Right.
Sure. Putting a needle into your finger before every meal, that's extreme. That's scary. Like what? And my friends are, I have some friends that are not healthy, and they're vegan and they're not healthy, and they get sick all the time. They they're always having these issues, extremely bad health issues. So like, don't believe everyone, guys. Own it. That's another tip. Own it. If you're going to get healthy, get healthy. Get the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. My friend Matt is here from the bundle.
Ooh.
His book, do you know Matt, Raw Intuition?
No, I don't, but I'm going to follow. Is it Raw Intuition?
Raw Intuition. He's amazing. He has the book called 5-Star Digestion, and it's all about how to eat healthier so that you have less gas and bloating and less digestive issues. Okay, so many people have IBS. That's extreme, right, Hannah? Like this is.
Oh, I had IBS for 20 years before going plant-based. I also had IBS for 20 years before going plant-based. So yeah, I've had all the issues. I'm telling you, this is like plant-based diets are truly just like, I mean, they're just so effective. They're cost effective. They're like, they actually make a difference. There's a strategy, and you actually target so many different physiological processes. Like you target insulin resistance, you target cancer prevention, you target cardiovascular, function. You target like your microbiome health. I mean, you're literally, it's just all encompassing, right? And I was also an unhealthy vegan at one point. I was like 20 pounds heavier than I am today.
Wow.
When I went vegan, like, a couple of years later, I was all the, like, oil-based, high fat, refined sugar, high flour foods. And so I know what it's like to also be an unhealthy vegan. I know the two extremes. So it's very possible to do it in a very poor way. So I think the key is whole food, plant-based nutrition, and the bundle is exactly that. There's no oil in any of the recipes. There's no refined sugar in any of the recipes. You can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong.
It's a very rare bundle, because
very
every single book, every program is healthy and targeted towards weight loss, but actually targeted towards health, honestly, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's called weight loss, but it should just be called ultimate health. Like,
No, you don't need to lose weight, but you're eating a junk food vegan diet. You need help. And you know what? Actually, funny, I was talking to a client the other day. She's like in her 30s, and she's like, she's vegan, but she said she just eats like a toddler. She eats vegan chicken nuggets, jellies all the time, and like all these kid food, fries. And I'm just like, you need this bundle, because there's easy, healthy, delicious recipes that emphasis on easy, right, Hannah? Because if it's not easy, don't do it. right?
100%. And also, like in your book and your, you know, your introduction to raw lifestyle, I'm not a raw vegan, but making some of your recipes has actually opened my eyes to the fact that I probably can be. And I felt so good. Like I made the spicy vegan pad thai.
Yes.
And it was just like, you know, yeah, it's raw zucchini spiralized, right? Raw carrots spiralized. I added some red cabbage for the cruciferous aspect.
I was gonna say,
And
yeah, yeah. I think that's in
right?
there, but I
It's in
want to
there.
add broccoli and the cauliflower. Yeah.
Yeah, add some sprouts on top, right? But I added that and it was so delicious. And I felt because of the sauce, you have the protein in the tahini base, or sorry, not tahini, you used almond butter.
Or
I
you
used
need,
peanut butter. I
absolutely.
use peanut butter because I'm allergic to almonds, but that's why I was like, okay. But yeah, I felt full after. I felt like satisfied. I felt full, but not bloated. I felt light and like just, I don't know, just there's a different frequency, energy wise there to
For
that
sure.
way
For
of eating,
sure.
right?
I mean, listen, I know a lot of people thriving. Hey, what's up, Tatiana? I love you so much. Okay, there's people thriving on Raw Till 4, thriving on a healthy vegan lifestyle, but try out eating more raw food because you will feel a big difference in the vibration, in the energy.
That's
Like
it.
I
That's it.
I eat some cooked food sometimes and I don't feel like maybe a cooked sweet potato or like steamed veggies. I feel good, but not as good as when I eat fully raw. I don't know what it is. I know it's just like it's the vibration. It's got to be the vibration of the
All
food.
the enzymes are intact. I
All the
mean, it's
enzymes.
just, yeah. And I mean, yeah, like even like if you look at the World Cancer Research Fund, they have it right on their website, like that, you know, raw plants are more associated, more closely associated with cancer prevention than cooked plants. So
What website is that?
World Cancer Research Fund, they're the authority on cancer research in relation to nutrition, diet, and lifestyle.
Wow, look at that, guys.
Yeah,
And you,
credible information.
and you don't have to be fully raw to experience the benefits of eating raw food, right?
You don't, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, like I'm gonna keep doing your, I'm gonna keep following your ebook and making your recipes and sharing them because I'm just super inspired. Like I am. I feel like I'm gonna be living the Florida lifestyle. Like I want to
Yeah, and just so you
in
know,
my sweaters
yeah, yeah. So I was raw vegan for 9 years in New York City. So it is possible to be raw in the
in
cold.
New York City.
Yep,
Oh,
in New York
yeah.
City, freezing cold. And I know so
Mhm.
many raw vegan Canadians as well. I'm gonna connect you with them.
See what, please? Yes.
Yeah. Um, and Lissa is from Canada, Raw Food Romance. I don't know
Oh,
if you know
I
that.
didn't even know that. I didn't
Yeah,
even know that. Okay, well,
born
there you go.
in Canada. She moved to Las Vegas, I think, 2 years ago. But yeah, she's from Canada, so she was
Okay,
yeah, raw.
cool.
And
Good to know.
so last question, because I could talk to you all day. I could see that.
I know. We're gonna have to meet one day in person.
Yes, I don't want to take, although we are going to be going live tomorrow, right? Tomorrow
Yep, we can go live tomorrow for sure.
at, is it 4? No, wait, what time tomorrow? I can't remember. What is,
We'll talk after.
yeah, we're going live tomorrow or the next day, but we're definitely going live again on
Okay.
Hannah's page. So everybody go, please follow Hannah if you have not followed her already, or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link below to her website so you can get the free resource. And I want to just remind you guys, 2 more days only to check out the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. Over 100 books and courses, all plant-based, all focused on weight loss. And listen, I highly, highly recommend it. You will
It's so good.
you will not regret it. Hannah, have you had time to go through like some of the, what are some of your favorite things from that time?
You know, great question. I keep telling people, like I was telling my mom last night, I am never going to have to buy another cookbook or search for a recipe online ever again for the rest of my life, I think, because there are literally 105 products. Is just wrap your mind around that, right? And there are over 1,000 plant-based recipes, and they're all in you know, in line with like what we do, like no oil, no sugar. It's perfect. So my favorite ones so far are, of course, your book, because I was introduced to your book, and very, very, you know, it's just such a new element for me, and I can't wait to do more with that. with your recipes and talk to you more about that tomorrow and what got you into the lifestyle and how it's transformed your health, because I know you've been through a lot as well. And the other one I love is Melissa's book, the dips, spreads, and dressings, plant-based dips. So fantastic. Like there's like cheese making in there, and you know, there's like mushroom gravy, but as well as you know, raw salad dressings and things. So it's amazing. And then of course Stacey Heine's The Secret is in the Sauce. It's all about the sauce, right?
I can't wait. I can't
wait. And another great one that I think is, I haven't heard it talked widely about yet on social media, but I just am just blown away by the recipes, is Nathan's book, Dude Food, for like raw vegan men. Have you seen the recipes in that?
First of all, Nate is one of my good friends. I love Nate. When you meet Nate, you're going to lose your mind. His energy is so amazing that I already had his book because I always buy everything that he releases. I love him. And he literally is a culinary genius. He is a culinary genius. His book, I honestly, like him.
The seed meats, like the burgers that he makes that are raw vegan with seeds, like I can't even, I have no words.
No words. Yeah, no. And did you have his nice cream book yet?
I saw it. I haven't like checked. I haven't like done any of the recipes, but I just made his cauliflower so far, and I looked at all the burgers and the fry recipes, and I messaged him like, hey, I just need to tell you, like, this is phenomenal, right?
Phenomenal. Lissa's husband.
Yeah, he's her husband. Exactly. What a team too. Like that is a dream team.
Yeah, that is.
Goals.
I went to their house in Vegas. It's literally a raw vegan restaurant.
You're like, it's a healthy, right?
Healthy. And I told them, I was like, listen, guys, if you want to open a restaurant, let me know. Like, let's go.
Let's do this.
Go.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. This nice cream, he made me, I think it was blueberry, frozen bananas, and lemon, and a little maple syrup, and it was so delicious in the blender.
Yum. Like
it was so good.
At the same time.
Ridiculous. Okay, so yes, so there, guys, we're talking about the Ultimate Weight Loss Bundle. Click the link below, or if you're on Instagram, go to Hannah's profile and click the link in her profile. You can get the bundle only until March 2nd. Okay, and that's 2 days.
2 more days.
And then we don't want to hear it. If you missed it, you missed it. Then get Hannah's book for $50, and you're gonna have to pay over $4,000 for everything else. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. So my last question to you is, so you said that you were married to a non-vegan, and now my question to you is, are you in a relationship or dating? Do you only date vegans? What is your advice to people that tell us your experience, and then what is your advice to people that want to go and be social and date as a healthy vegan?
Okay, this is like an incredibly amazing question, because it's such an area that I've done so much reflection on. Because I am like, I'm not in a relationship, but I'm you know, I'm dating when I have time. I'm more married to my business right now. This is a very limited time.
Me too.
But you know, when I do go on a date with someone who's a non-vegan, it does like, I always think it's not I always think it's not a problem. Like I have no issue with it, right? Because I don't. It's like, I don't want to go into it like judging someone or being difficult, right? But then when it comes down to it, it can become an issue down the line, you know, because it's been an issue in previous relationships for me when someone, you know, has challenged or even attacked, you know, this way of living. So I feel like it's not an easy thing to answer for me. I don't know the answer. I was really lucky to be married to somebody who was very open, and then also experience other relationships who were not as open. And I just don't know what the right answer is. I think that, I don't know, to each their own. I don't only date vegans, no. But I do hope that there's a level of mutual respect, right? That we can both learn from one another if we have different lifestyles and different dietary patterns. That's probably the most important, right? but I wouldn't not date someone if they were a non-vegan, I guess is the.
Yeah.
What
No,
about you? What about you?
great advice. Me personally, I don't have a dating life. I'm married to my business. I'm married to my ebook.
There you
My
go.
course that's coming out.
Yeah, me too.
Course coming out soon. How to be a healthy raw vegan. And so yeah, I don't date, but when I do, and if I ever did, it's really important that they don't have to eat raw. No, not at all. But it's really important, like you just said, that they have to be respectful, open, and understanding that this is who I am. This is how. Not a big deal. I've been doing it for a long time now. You've been doing it for 16 years now, eating a vegan lifestyle. And just, honestly, I do need to be with somebody who is health conscious, because you become the sum of the top 5 people you hang around. I can't risk not being healthy. That's not going to happen.
Oh, you hit it on the head right there.
Personally, I've been very affected by cancer in my life. Many people in my family, and including my sister, had cancer and had passed away from that. And so,
sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And so this is a big reason why I'm promoting this lifestyle, why I'm dedicating my life to helping other people not have to lose loved ones or deal with cancer like you did. There is a way. And if you are somebody who is sick right now, listen, go to Hannah's website, and also just realize that you are in control. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't destroyed in a day. You can turn this around. You can turn this around, slow and steady. You got this, okay?
You can control your diet at least. Exactly. So one thing that you do have control. I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. My
Thank you so much.
I send you so much love. Like I do.
So much. Yeah, it's really sad what how much power we give away, and we don't even realize, like you said, like how much the food affects us. And it's really sad that a lot of people, they're just blindly trusting the system when we know it's been proven the system is just designed to keep us alive. It's not designed to make us well, because a patient cured is a patient lost. A patient cured is a patient lost.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals don't reverse chronic illnesses. They're not. They don't reverse chronic illnesses. Drugs do not treat the root cause of any chronic illness, right? Medicine is good for acute care. I think it's not very, very necessary, but we know that they don't reverse chronic illnesses. Doctors know that too. So I think you hit it on the head again. So great point, my dear. And I can't wait to talk to you again.
On when? I feel like it's tomorrow, but it could be Wednesday. I don't know. I'm blanking.
It's tomorrow. We just have to we have to confirm the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll confirm and let you guys know. And I thank you so much, Hannah. Everybody go check out her website. Click the links below, or go to her bio. Click the link in her bio. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. It was like a sincere pleasure talking to you. Amazing.
I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. And have a beautiful, beautiful night, Hannah.
You too. Thank you, hon. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.